are learning more about edits to the final report from former FBI Director James Comey on the investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server. We already knew the term grossly negligent, which calls for criminal penalties, had been changed to extremely careless. Well, now we know an early version of Comey's report stated it was, quote, reasonably likely that hostile actors gained access to Clinton's emails. The final report changed reasonably likely to possible. Joining us now is Wall Street Journal columnist Kimberly Strassel. She's been following this, and of course, your column is the first thing I read every Friday morning. Is it possible that these changes were made because they didn't have concrete evidence and they wanted to soft pedal it because they weren't going to be able to come up with the goods, or is there something more nefarious behind this?
Look, I think we can't know, but that is precisely why, Dana, that they need to be making Peter Strzok, who is the FBI agent, the one who was in the news this week over his text messages. He is supposedly behind at least some of those edits. Congress has been demanding to interview him for months now. The FBI has withheld him from having to give that interview. They need information, and the only way you're going to know the context for which these changes were made was to get a hold of the people who actually made them, and the FBI has just refused to give the goods on this.
One of the things I believe that you wrote last week is that perhaps the Justice Department needs to identify a person that could be a designated liaison with Capitol Hill on this. Do you think there's going to be any movement on that?
I think the White House has to step in here in one form or another. And it might not necessarily have to be a person that goes there, although that is one possibility. Maybe, White House General Counsel Don McGahn could name an official whose only job, and in a temporary capacity, is to ensure that the FBI and the Justice Department comply with reasonable congressional demands. The other thing is he could just order them to do so. The president is the chief law enforcement officer in the country.
Take a listen to what Senator Ron Johnson said on Tucker's show last night in regards to this statement by Comey.
This draft statement was done months before they completed the interviews. The FBI, again, this investigation into Clinton's email really was not meant to uncover the truth leading to a prosecution. From my standpoint, it's really meant to cover up the truth and exonerate Hillary Clinton. Again, I have no idea why the FBI just doesn't come clean and provide this information to Congress. What are they trying to hide?
So he's picking up on something that you were saying. And in addition, the Justice Department was explaining this morning how the text messages between Strzok and Page ended up in the hands of some of the reporters, select reporters, before they went to Capitol Hill. So I imagine that there's some frustration from Congress's point of view on that as well.
Well, you know as well as I do from your time in government that usually if something gets given to reporters beforehand, it's because you're trying to influence the way the stories come out. And certainly that first round of stories were very soft on Mr. Strzok, talking a lot about what a great agent he was and not so much into some of the more serious accusations. Look, in addition to not making him available, they continue to stonewall House subpoenas. Senator Johnson has been demanding the unredacted transcripts of several FBI agents who were interviewed about the Hillary Clinton email investigation. They've refused to provide those. So there's a general stonewall going on here that no one should be happy with. We don't want the FBI to hand over, classified information that will undermine our national security. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about their internal actions. And the public has a right to know how these investigations were and are being handled.
Right. Well, Kim Strassel, thank you so much for being on the Daily Briefing. We hope to have you again.